So good day, sir. So today I'm going to tackle about intellectual property rights applicable to the educational settings. So let's start. Intellectual property rights means to protect ownership and control over creative works or inventions. So from the word property rights, from the word property, it means the it has the ownership and to protect which product you owned. And the most common intellectual property rights includes copyrights or the right to copy, trademarks or which represents a products, and patents. So copyright may apply to a wide range of a creative, intellectual or artistic works from the moment that the works is fixed in a tangible form. So means tangible, it is visible. So next, the stated objective of most intellectual property law is to promote progress, so there is a progressive by granting exclusive rights to the creators for a specified period of time. In the United States, copyright was limited to 14 years. So in the USA, copyright has an allotted time within the 14 years and only applied to a printed material that you could make a real copy of. So after 14 years, if the owner did not apply for extension by his works or by his uh, own product, the work went into the public domain where the others were free to use it in their own creations. So copyright is the intellectual property right that affects most educator and is actually a bundle of rights which include the right to first reproduce the copyrighted works. So for example, works that can be copyrighted, literary, musical, artistic, and dramatic and recordings. And number two, prepare derivative works based on the copyrighted works and distribute copies for sale. If you want to sell your products, you can sell it and perform the work publicly. So in this portion, means publish perform means only the copyrighted owners or others they authorize may perform the work in the public. Number five, display the work publicly. So it means public display. So for example, to display a work publicly, paintings, photographs, sculpture, and literature. You may not put copyrighted images on your website. You may not post copyrighted images on online. And perform by means in a digital audio transmission like radio or TV. And copyright infringements. So what are the consequences you can get about a copyright? So there is copyright infringements is the use of copyrighted works without permission, which carries with it steps penalties including high fines and possible jail and time. So if you copy the works of others without permission, there is a law of a copyright law which can give consequences for you that you may put in a jail or tagaan kag mga bati ng mga consequence if you do against about the copyright law. Fortunately for educators, for us as student educators and librarians, so in the US, copyright law allows for certain limitations in these exclusive rights for purposes that may be considered fair use, such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Libraries also are granted some exemptions of copyright law covers classroom performance and display. The intent of this limitation is to balance the public's interest in open access with the property interests of copyright holders. So before using copyrighted materials in your classrooms, whether online or face-to-face, you will want to conduct a fair use analysis to determine whether you should request permission. So we must ask for permission. So consider the following 4 factors. So there are factors when deciding whether use could be considered as fair use. So first, the transformative factors. Have you added new expressions, meaning, or value the original? So have you added new expressions, meaning, and the value of the original? Transformative. From the word transform means transferable. So number 2, the nature of the copyrighted work. You may have more leeway to copyright from factual works than from fictional works. Number 3, the amount of substantially of the portion taken. Smaller portions are more likely to be considered as fair use unless they represent the heart of the work. The effect of the potential market. Parody is treated differently than other kinds of uses. And recommendations or best practices. So as an educator, the best practices you should teach to your students is, or you should give to your students, is to give your students a link to the work instead of making copies of it via the MU Libraries website, or by linking to another legitimate depository or website. So MU Libraries, like MU Libraries. So MU Libraries means Misamis University Libraries of the Philippines, which maintain a strong library collection capable of supporting instructional research or bibliographical needs of both students and faculty. So when you give to your students about doing research, you must recommend them, for example, MU Libraries, because they can get their data in it, in both faculty and teachers. It can also help us as educator in a soon days. Work with MU Libraries to provide students access to articles rather than uploading works directly to Canvas. Please note that MU Libraries will take care of securing permissions. Yes, so Misamis University Libraries will take note of securing permissions for all materials played in electronic reserve. And number 3, take precautions to protect the copyrighted work from a broader distribution by streaming rather than posting video. So take precautions to protect the copyrighted work from broader distribution. So there is a copyright law. So you must to stream rather than posting a video by posting on a password protected site. So number 4, credit all resources. So you must to credit your works or what you have gained data from the owner. So let's, for example, this is credit 2. Yan. Display the copyright notice. So you must notice the owners or the author of a particular works and indicate which materials have been used with permissions. Please note, citing the materials does not grant you permissions to use copyrighted work. Keep in mind that students' work is also copyrighted. And lastly, use open content resources. That's all. Thank you.